Chocolate seems simple. It is one of the most familiar foods in the world. It sits in checkout aisles, gift boxes, baking shelves, and snack drawers. But the real story of chocolate is surprisingly long. Before it becomes a smooth bar, it starts as a wet seed inside a tropical fruit. Before it becomes sweet, it passes through stages that are messy, hot, bitter, and highly technical. And before it became the everyday product we know now, it spent most of its history as a drink, not a bar. In this video, we are going to follow chocolate from the tree to the finished bar. We will start with cocoa pods on the farm, then move through fermentation, drying, roasting, grinding, refining, conking, tempering, and molding. Along the way, we will also look at the short history behind modern chocolate, because the chocolate bar people know today is actually the result of several major breakthroughs in processing. Chocolate did not begin as candy for thousands of years. Cacao was used in the Americas, and chocolate was mainly prepared as a beverage. Sources differ on the exact earliest timeline, but the broad picture is clear. Cacao has deep roots in the Americas, and ancient Mesoamerican cultures treated it as important food, ritual material, and even currency in some places. It was valued long before it became a sweet snack. That old chocolate was very different from what most people eat now. It was often bitter, mixed with water and spices, and consumed as a drink. When chocolate moved to Europe in the 1500s, it stayed mostly a drink there too, though sugar and spices helped change the taste. For a long time, chocolate was expensive and associated with wealth and status. The modern bar came much later. The turning point came in the 1800s. In 1828, Conrad van Houten patented a process that pressed much of the cocoa butter out of roasted cocoa, helping create cocoa powder. Then in 1847, Fry & Sons combined cocoa butter, chocolate liquor, and sugar to produce sweet-eating chocolate. Later, conking and improved finishing techniques helped create the smoother texture people now expect. In other words, modern chocolate is not ancient in the form we know it. It is the result of industrial food processing. Where chocolate really starts, chocolate starts with cacao pods growing on the trunk and branches of the cacao tree. When the pods are ripe, they are cut off by hand, opened, and the wet beans inside are removed. These beans are not yet chocolate in any normal sense. They do not have that familiar finished flavor. At this point, they are the raw starting material. This is the first myth worth clearing up. Chocolate is not simply cocoa powder plus sugar. Real chocolate begins with cocoa beans that are processed into chocolate liquor, also called cocoa mass, and cocoa butter. Cocoa powder is usually what remains after part of the fat has been pressed out. That is a related product, but it is not the full story of how a chocolate bar is made. Fermentation is where flavor begins. Once the beans are removed from the pod, they are piled together or placed in boxes and covered so fermentation can begin. This step is absolutely critical. According to the International Cocoa Organization, good chocolate flavor develops in two major places. First on the farm through correct fermentation, and later in the factory during roasting. Skip the first part, and the second part cannot fully rescue the result. During fermentation, yeasts and then bacteria begin breaking down the sugary pulp around the beans. Alcohol forms, then acids form, heat rises, and the bean itself is eventually killed. That sounds harsh, but it is exactly what needs to happen. Once the bean dies, internal structures break down, chemical reactions begin, and the future flavor and color of chocolate start developing inside the bean. This is one of the most important hidden parts of the whole process. This is why raw cocoa beans do not taste like a finished chocolate bar. Chocolate flavor is built in stages. Fermentation creates the early flavor groundwork. Roasting develops it further. Without fermentation, the final product can be flat, harsh, or incomplete. Drying makes the beans stable enough to travel after fermentation. The beans have to be dried. Their moisture content is reduced dramatically so they can be stored and shipped. But this also has to be done carefully. If drying happens too fast, some of the reactions started during fermentation do not finish properly, and the beans can stay too acidic and bitter. If drying happens too slowly, mold and off flavors can develop. So even this stage is not just about removing water. It is also about protecting quality. By the end of this stage, the beans have gone from wet material inside a fruit to a stable agricultural product that can move into commercial processing. That is when the factory side of the story begins. Cleaning, roasting, and cracking. When cocoa beans reach a processing facility, they are cleaned to remove debris like stones, dust, and plant matter. Then they are roasted. Roasting is one of the most recognizable flavor-building stages because heat changes cocoa chemistry in major ways. It reduces acidity and astringency, deepens color, lowers moisture, and helps develop the flavors people associate with chocolate. It also makes shell removal easier. After roasting, the beans are cracked and winnowed. Winnowing is the step that separates the thin outer shell from the heavier inner pieces called nibs. Those nibs are the valuable part. They are what get ground into the cocoa material used to make chocolate. Grinding turns nibs into chocolate liquor. Here is another place where the process surprises people. When cocoa nibs are ground, they do not become a dry powder first. Their cell walls break, the cocoa butter is released, and the result becomes a thick paste called chocolate liquor or cocoa mass. Despite the name, there is no alcohol in it. It is basically ground cocoa nibs in fluid form because of their natural fat content. This is the real base of chocolate making. From here, processors can take different paths. They can press some of the fat out to produce cocoa butter and cocoa cake, with the cake later pulverized into cocoa powder. Or they can use the liquor, extra cocoa butter, sugar, and other ingredients to make eating chocolate. That is one reason the myth about chocolate being just cocoa powder is so misleading. Cocoa powder is only one branch of the process. Mixing and refining for smoothness. Once the recipe is decided, the ingredients are batched together. For dark chocolate, that usually means cocoa liquor, sugar, and cocoa butter. For milk chocolate, milk powder is added too. Then the mixture goes through particle reduction, often called refining, to make the texture smoother. The International Cocoa Organization points out that particle reduction is required to produce the smooth chocolate texture most consumers expect. This matters because texture is not a small detail in chocolate. If the particles are too large, the chocolate feels gritty. If they are small and evenly distributed, the chocolate feels smooth and creamy. So when people talk about premium chocolate feeling silky, that is not just about ingredients. It is also about process. Conking changes flavor and texture. Again, after refining comes conking, one of the most famous stages in chocolate manufacture. Conking is a flavor developing, aerating, and emulsifying process. In simple terms, the chocolate is mixed, worked, and exposed to heat and air for an extended time. This helps smooth texture, drive off unwanted volatile compounds, and develop a more balanced flavor. Different producers run conking for different lengths depending on the result they want. This stage became especially important after Rodolphe Lindt's conking innovation in the late 1800s, which helped push chocolate toward the smoother, more meltable texture modern consumers expect. It is one of the reasons older forms of chocolate and modern chocolate do not feel the same in the mouth. Tempering, molding, and the final bar. Even after all of that, the chocolate is still not quite ready. One of the last major stages is tempering. Tempering carefully cools and reheats chocolate so the cocoa butter forms stable crystals. That is what gives finished chocolate its glossy appearance and the clean snap people expect when they break a bar. If tempering is done badly, chocolate can look dull, streaky, or soft. Once tempered, the chocolate is poured into molds, cooled, and hardened. At that point, it finally starts to look like the product most people recognize: bars, squares, chips, shells, or filled pieces. But by then, it has already gone through farming, microbiology, drying control, roasting chemistry, grinding, refining, conking, and crystal management. That is a very long distance from the simple idea of sweet candy. White chocolate became an everyday product. Chocolate became truly everyday not just because people liked the taste, but because processing improved. Once cocoa pressing, sweet-eating chocolate, conking, and more consistent manufacturing spread, chocolate became easier to shape, transport, sell, and standardize. What had once been mainly a drink for elites could now become bars, candies, baking products, and mass-market food. That is the bigger story behind bean to bar. It is not one magical step. It is a chain of breakthroughs. Farming matters. Fermentation matters. Roasting matters. Grinding matters. Conking matters. Tempering matters. Each stage solves a different problem, and together they turn a tropical seed into one of the world's most familiar foods. Conclusion: so the next time you open a chocolate bar, it is worth remembering that you are holding the result of both agriculture and manufacturing. Chocolate starts in a pod, develops flavor in fermentation, gains character in roasting, becomes fluid in grinding, becomes smooth in refining and conking, and becomes beautiful in tempering and molding. It feels ordinary now, but its journey is anything but ordinary. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. Then tap the bell icon to turn on all notifications so you never miss any of our future videos.